Okay, welcome back. This is going to be episode 3 of the developer commentary for the MineColonies mod. If you've watched episode 2, we were looking at the builder and we had him build the town hall here, which you can see is now complete. Now, this episode is going to be about the Lumberjack. Again, he's a worker that you're going to want to get very early on. As you can see, especially the lower level buildings take a lot of wood to build. So the more wood you have, the better you are. So we're going to go ahead, place the Lumberjack near some trees. Now, as anyone who's watched the episode 1 will know, the Lumberjack needs a lot of trees to work efficiently. So I'm going to go ahead and, while the Lumberjack is coming, looks like James Jackson's going to be our Lumberjack today. Oh, unless Charles Johnson gets there first, and Charles wins. So Charles grabbed the job. James can stay unemployed. So I'm going to put these trees down just so we're sure we've got a nice big area for him to collect trees in. Okay. So our Lumberjack is the first worker, unlike the builder, the first worker that needs tools. So he needs an axe. See, you can't chop trees without an axe, so we're going to give him an axe. Let's give him a stone axe. Pretty basic axe, but it'll get him going. So that's all he needs. So he will now search his local area and he will go and find a tree. Oh, sorry Charles, didn't mean to do that. I know, yes. And he'll start chopping. Now the speed at which he chops the tree down is dependent on the quality of his axe. So with a stone axe he works okay, but fairly slow. With an iron axe or a diamond axe he will work a lot faster. And if you noticed, when he'd finished chopping the tree, he put a sapling down in its place. He replants all the trees he cuts down. He won't plant saplings like I did, where there are no trees. He just replaces trees that he cuts down, which is why you need to plant enough trees around to keep him busy, or place him in a forest. Now, currently in 1.6.4.5 beta, he doesn't handle metadata very well. So regardless of what type of tree he cuts down, he will return oak wood. Likewise, he will only plant oak saplings down. That will change in later updates. We will make it so that he can distinguish between the trees, and if he chops down a spruce tree you get spruce wood, and he will replant whatever the type of tree was with the correct wood. So you might want to plant all the different saplings around him so he has access to all the trees. That's entirely up to you, but he will carry on chopping down all the wood. The way he searches for what is a tree is he looks for wood blocks, and then he tests, are they a column of wood like this, and do they have leaves around them. So hopefully he shouldn't chop this down, because it is a block of wood. It is a vertical column of wood like a tree trunk is, but it has no leaves around it, so he should ignore that. Now, what can sometimes happen is if this tree was located here and there were leaf blocks around here, he will get confused and he will think this is a tree and come and chop it down. So when you build buildings, try and make sure that you remove any leaves within a few blocks of any bits of wood of the building, just to make sure your Lumberjack doesn't get too confused and start chopping your buildings down. Now, as you can see, he's working quite happily without his building. Upgrading his level by building his huts actually increases the range at which he will work. So he will walk further afield to find trees. At the base level without his hut, he'll only work in the immediate area, and he will, especially if you give him the better tools, harvest all the trees and run out of trees fairly quickly. So he will just sit there and wait for a new tree to spawn and then go and chop it. So depending on how far of an area you want him to clear, upgrade his hut accordingly. And that really is as simple as it gets with the Lumberjack. Any of the wood he cuts, he will drop back in this chest. The delivery man, which we'll go through later on, will take the wood out of here and take it back to his warehouse. The builder will come and take the wood out of here if the builder has no wood. And the delivery man, if he has access to axes, will drop axes in this chest for the Lumberjack to use if and when his current axe runs out. All the workers, their tools do take durability, so that axe will break at some point and he will return for a new one. Yeah, one of the most simple workers we have, but one of the most important. Without wood, you're going to take a long time to build your colonies. So that's it for the Lumberjack. See you on the next episode. Bye.